Everybody good?
You get?
All right.
Welkom vir die vandagse nie. Okay.
Before
welcome
we
back, guys.
go.
Yeah, before we even start, just a young disclaimer. Any views shared by anyone on the show
Yes.
is subject to themselves.
Yes.
Source is not held accountable for anything
Fire,
anybody has
spit
to
that
say. It's
fire,
their
Biggie.
opinion, and we're not here to crucify anyone for their opinion. That's
But
what we're
most
thinking.
important,
And
Biggie.
their frame of mind, and most importantly, no one is held accountable for anything I say.
Here we go.
Or honey mess. I'm dragging you to this one. Or says, or yeah. So source has nothing to do with.
It's just opinions.
Lies.
We just
Yeah.
free opinions. We don't want to get cancelled,
That's
just
what I
free opinions.
Yeah, I mean, it's an open space for you to say what you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the context of the whole situation. Let's
Alright.
not go there.
Also, I have a disclaimer.
Yes.
Everything that you said.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Everything that I said, not to
I
say.
second that notion.
Yes, sir. Welcome to another
you.
episode of Source. Today we have Mr. Brandon Titus.
Ouch. Okay, retake.
No. We have the doctor himself. Let's say it that way. The doctor himself, Mr. Medical Records, Mr. Iller than most. Mr. that's been doing this thing for a very long time. The guy that had dreadlocks 4 times in the span of 10 years. The guy that's been doing this thing since school. So he's been doing it since ways back. How back is that?
No, like 12 years ago.
12 years ago.
Veteran.
12 minus your age?
12 minus my age.
With more math. Sorry, Illrow. I didn't expect him to throw more math
I'm
in
just going
there.
to give the same answer, 22.
22.
That was my answer earlier on.
What's his 22?
22 for your
So Illrow, 52 years old. Wait, no way. This is Illrow himself. Thank you very much for coming today, buddy. I know it's been a thing of like wanting to always catch up with what you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're one of those people that doesn't really care about social media. He just does his work and you just see, yeah, this brush in something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I use it when I need it.
Yeah, you use it when you need it. We
a
saw him on
tool.
MTV, he cut his hair, then he was with Slicker, his hair was short, came back, I saw he's doing work with YJ and he had dreads again. I was like, what? Does this guy eat in the morning or what? Yeah, it's like it's
Life.
graduation every time they grows out. I tell you now, if the dreads is back, this nigga's killing it. How you doing, my man?
Nah, I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good. I appreciate you having me here.
more
Yeah,
than
shout out
welcome.
to you, bro. Like, fuck, it's been a minute.
It has been a minute. For people that don't know, me and him actually go way back. I met him through, I think it was Evan.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
One of an even.
Yeah.
One of them.
One of an Evan. Evan
People
had this.
out you with government names and everything, yo.
But
Whatever.
that it goes by the name now, Evan Wade.
Yeah,
Is
he's
it?
got
Yeah,
yeah,
there's
like,
no one of them is
Sorry,
Evan
Evan.
Wade.
Sorry.
Government names. Yeah. Okay,
It's not his government name, my bad.
I
It's
don't
his
want to pull
stage
rank.
name.
So Evan Wade, he rapped once upon a time at the school concert, eons back, and
He went to my school.
but he was at Rocklands High. They had this thing and he rapped peanut butter jam, no ham. And I was like, what?
real
Oh,
shit.
shit.
I was like, okay. And it's like, I heard y'all on the radio. Are y'all that people? And I was like, yeah. It was like, come to my campus.
Yeah.
We went to the campus. I met ACE. I met everyone. All y'all motherfuckers I met at the same time. Wow, Avengers. It's so crazy. Like a lot of that stuff
And
happened.
Ildo went to Livingston.
Yeah, we
And
all
Now
Yeah,
that
so
we
the
went to
Livingston-
school with us,
I
yeah.
didn't know them, but I can meet afterwards. I knew Logan. I knew Logan's face.
Yo,
right?
hey,
I don't know
hey,
none of y'all.
I don't know that girl. I don't know.
You didn't know me either. So
No, I know, but like, I don't want to be like, dude.
You know, it's the craziest thing. This is actually one of the people that's most integrated in different markets. You know what I mean? He's in the black market, he's in the colored market, he's in all of the markets, and everyone just happens to know who Illrow is. Bro, how do you manage to stay so neutral?
it's natural though. Like,
all of this stuff.
No.
nah, for me it's natural because of where I grew up, obviously. Like my area falls under Mitchell's Plain, but actually there's more Xhosa people than colored people living there. So obviously I grew up around that. I can speak a bit here and there. Probably like 32%.
Yeah.
That's like how much I understand, and
Yeah,
half of
exposed
that
to-
is what I can speak. So I'm not
So
fluent,
you're
but
exposed to
I'm
all
exposed to the
cultures,
lifestyle. And
yeah.
obviously
Yeah.
I'm colored, so like
So you colored?
yeah, I'm colored. Yeah.
Okay.
Maar sie wil laat vol.
What was it?
No, it's not. Because for me, it was like I've always, I was like, this bro is a colored bro, but it was so deep in the culture and everything. And where I met, like, Ikasi and all of those stuff was happening that time in Kailicha and all of
Kasi
those
experience.
things. Yeah, Kasi experience and all of those things. And I mean, Fresh Click, SLK, all of those people back then were like pushing it back then. And there was Malcolm Maserati,
Yeah.
Ayo Cali, and all of those people,
all of
you know, and he's been like in that space. And then coming to where you're at right now, you know, being in a total different space, but still being you, authentically you know what I mean? And you're doing so much, bro. And really, I want to really know, besides the staying neutral part, what do you think is the best trait that you have and that made it possible for you to be so diverse as far as like your brand goes and who you are in general?
Yeah, so firstly, obviously, I just explained the one part where I grew up.
Yeah.
But like, I think, it's probably the household I came from, bro. Like, I'm, disclaimer also on my side, this is for disclaimer for my family and whatever, but like, my family, right, like my mom and my dad, is very neutral when it comes to the race thing, you know what I mean? Whereas, I don't know about you, but I'm speaking about most colored people I know, like, and even most black people I know, the older people are very,
Yeah, it's very
they're still living
race-oriented,
back
yeah.
in the day. They're still like, black colored separation. And my
yeah.
parents, I feel like they just ignored that. So like for me, I can go anywhere in Cape Town. I'll feel comfortable, you know what I mean? So, and that helps me stay neutral.
Yeah.
Because I don't look at you differently than what I would look at anyone else from the cast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you've actually killed the racial boundaries, basically.
Yeah, like I don't see it, bro. Like I don't see it. I see it physically, but like if there wasn't a stigma to it, I wouldn't know the difference.
I feel you.
That's crazy.
And that's very important, eh?
Yeah, but it's like you're saying, you know, a lot of the home background living is what gives us that perspective. You know, you come from a household that sees that, or you're just used to an area that sees that, and you go out and you kind of have to unlearn it when you go back into the like working world and stuff.
Yeah,
You didn't come from that. That's cool.
and that can generally be something that cripples opportunities for people.
Yeah, a lot of the
because-
guests we were speaking about were saying that there's a lot of difficulty in finding opportunity because we divide ourselves up into all these sections and we don't want to work together. And by showing, you see, like not seeing that gives you more opportunity to connect with a lot more people.
Yeah, and you finesse the click aspect in Cape Town. Because everything is very clicky, but it's like every cruise, they're like, hey, Illrow, come on. And then just
like,
come home.
Yeah, everyone feels comfortable, it's
all
chill.
the circles, like there's so many circles in Cape Town. There was a point where like I was talking to my brother at that time about these circles that we have in Cape Town, bro. There's like a circle where we are in Mitchell's Plain.
Yeah.
Like, okay, there's probably like 50 circles in Mitchell's Plain alone, but I mean, they could be one circle because
we
they
just
kind of have the same, you know,
The
whatever.
aesthetic and everything is the same.
But there's two big circles, obviously the Kasi and the Flat, so I always embody those two. I even have EPs called Flats to a Kasi.
Flats to the Kasi,
and
Trying to bridge that gap.
yeah,
of
like I've been
culture.
there on the bridge. Even on that, what he mentioned, the MTV thing, which not a lot of people knows about.
Yeah.
Because, okay, you already said your disclaimer, but MTV fucked up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even want to say what happened, but like it aired a few times, and
Yeah.
obviously my followers that followed me back then knows about it.
Yeah.
Some might have forgotten about it, but a lot of people don't know it because you can't find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't find it online. but
Like if I wanted to go see it
yeah,
now,
it's not there because
what was the experience?
Yeah.
the experience of
Yeah, with the whole MTV situation.
Yeah, what is the
Yes.
point in the movement?
Because there's a lot of other people that might go through stuff that you went through.
yeah.
You know, what was the experience, bro?
But the experience was like, just saying something that anyone else would say. It was a dope experience, obviously, but like it was also like a kind of like a blessing because just the way it happened, the way I even landed up in that space,
Yeah.
or with that opportunity was through Slicker, obviously,
Yeah.
because I sent back then they were still doing that thing. What was it?
For something of the street.
Yeah, nah, the street is new. There was that thing that they used to do where they, I don't know what it was, man, but people used to submit this shit and
Yeah.
would get elected the best voter or whatever.
Okay.
So I still submitted for that back then.
Yeah.
Not paying any mind to it and just submitting stuff because I'm an artist. I submit my
Yeah.
shit everywhere.
Yeah.
Few months down the line, I go to Joburg, right? Come back. I just went to Joburg just to
Network.
see the scenery, just to catch the vibe and see if I can make connections and shit like that.
Yeah.
I came back, nothing didn't work out because I didn't know anyone, I didn't know what to do and whatever. But
Yeah.
either way, I just wanted the experience,
yeah.
whatever. But I'm a spiritual person, right? I prayed to God that night. I told God, like, yo, I ain't never going back to Joburg again. Unless someone calls me.
Yeah.
Unless I'm there for a reason. I'm not going to go blindly to Joburg.
Yeah.
But the same week, I get the email from Slicker saying he's going to fly us down to Joburg. Like,
Yeah.
There you
so,
go.
like, for me, that was, like, crazy. And,
got the
okay,
artist.
yeah, and the reason for that, the reason why they sent us the email was because of the track we submitted.
Yeah.
So they were working on something in the background without the public knowing about it, just on their own.
Yeah.
Whereby they compiled this list of like 12 songs from right across the country.
Right across
Thousands
the
of submissions. They obviously went through a lot of months filtering out what they want, and then I was one of the 12. And then they did the album thing, and then through Slicker we got the MTV plug.
Yeah.
Got there, did our thing, killed our verses.
Yeah.
That time the Wrecking Crew was also on the same cypher.
Yeah.
I can't remember the other people, but we were basically the underdogs because most of the people that were there had a name already. So we were like...
Because there's Aries and them,
Yeah,
all of
new-
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Aries and them, but Aries wasn't there. It was just the
Ex-Global
crew.
and them, yeah.
Yeah. So they were there doing the thing. No, not throwing shade at anyone, but all the other niggas took takes, bro. They took like... They did it like it was a music video.
Yeah.
And we did it like in one, like all the
One
new
take.
kids. Like, 'cause
Yeah,
we were so
yeah.
hungry, man. Like,
Yeah,
you
eager
know what
to
I
do
mean?
it, yeah.
So we killed, okay, there were 2 takes, but like really we killed it in one. They did
Yeah.
2, we didn't decide to do 2 takes. They
Yeah.
wanted for their
A
production
spare,
purposes.
yeah.
But then the production, the experience was dope doing all that shit.
Yeah.
But then the post-production fucked everything up because the thing aired on TV for like, it was supposed to air like a month or 2, but it only played like 3 times.
And
Yeah.
one time
Because-
they fucked up the sound on one of
Nah,
them.
all of it. That's why I was not there anymore because the sound was...
Oh, so the quality
of
wasn't
sync.
great and they can't really...
No, it was
they
out
didn't
of-
want to put that
the
out
quality
there.
was there, but I don't think they knew what they were doing.
And you obviously didn't want to go there like, yeah, I'm an engineer, actually, guys, I can help.
No, but the audio was out of sync with the beat. But
Yeah.
people were throwing shade on social media. Yo, all these rappers are whack.
Yeah, and it makes you guys look bad.
I'm
They
like,
don't
bruh, how
think...
can we all be rapping on beat? That makes no sense. No?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it
so
was a sabotage, bro.
but I don't know what it was.
it's probably just inexperience and,
But
the...
for MTV, though, you know what I mean.
But it's just people, you
I'm
forget
saying,
we...
I'm getting kak. Bro. I can't say that. I'm about to throw the yellows, but I don't give a puss.
But the
that's
thing
right,
is,
though.
we always assume behind these big names is a unbreakable, these are still people there and people make mistakes. So I'm not trying to like defend them, but I'm just assuming that somebody fucked up and
you
then,
set the standard.
it's human nature. But 100%, but you can't, how is MTV, the CEO, keeping standard down there, all the way down there, Somebody who's working that day could have fucked up and now they have to clean up the mess.
But that's
kinda.
why there's like, in most companies, you get the worker, you get the manager, you get the overseer, whatever. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
This
That
is
should have
South
gone
Africa,
through.
man.
That should have gone through a process of at least.
They most probably,
This is South
you know what I mean?
Africa,
they most probably
man.
tended for that thing for MTV.
I don't know. Someone was out there saying this is dope. And they
Yeah,
put it on-
recently, I don't know if you guys watched that Love Island, how bad that was. It's a reality TV show that's in America, Love Island America. And they did the South African version and this big company, and it's a massive company, and they come down and they do a South African version. You'd think, obviously, the standard is going to be to this other crap audio. People were roasting them all the time. And you're just like, what? Did the editor not know what?
They pulled the show off air to
They-
re-edit
to
the audio
re-edit it and
re-release the show.
So, you say, oh, MTV, without flaws, they're supposed to have a standard. But shit like this happens, people...
Oh, fuck, bro.
Side note, did y'all see that 15 million rand stadium in Eastern Cape?
15
No.
million rand.
Please go check that shit out
15 million rand stadium
in the Eastern
in
Cape.
the Eastern Cape. Who's watching in the Eastern Cape? Who's there?
I'm
Are there?
telling you.
How many people are there?
Check out that stadium. That stadium look like lentigia, bro.
Yeah, but I was just gonna say 50 million sounds like a little for a stadium. bro.
Bro, not even this. Hey,
That's like one house.
There's 40
That's a half a house in Clifton.
what, 15 million?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
how
I
can you
mean-
hold a stadium with
15 million is a lot for recreational space, bro.
Yeah.
And for you to have 40 seats and the stadium is full, like, that's just the standard of South Africa. I look like
I want to see this picture. I'm so curious.
I think I
right
saw
now.
something like that, but
I said, I'm gonna check out that stadium, but it comes back down to the actual standard of things. And bearing in mind of the standard of how things are, and operations and like how it works, and you especially being someone that's behind the scenes and in front of the scenes, right? Because you shoot music videos, do photography, does mixing and mastering, does beat production,
lot
and
of
you're
skill
artist
sets.
yourself, and you're doing your own graphics and stuff. My nigga, how? And like, where is the balance in life for all of that, bro?
I'm just gonna say the shit is stressful, bro. that's the balance, bro. Stress.
Stress
I
is
feel like
tough.
stress comes into
Wow,
balance
so-
all that shit. That's,
I wake up.
I can't explain.
It's like
I can't
that
explain.
scene where the Hulk tells the Captain the trick is I'm always stressed.
Exactly, bro. Like,
So there's this. I mean, the chaos is basically.
I don't think there's a
logic.
logical way for me to explain that, but because it's not really natural to. But I do it because like I've just been that type of way since I was a kid, man. It's just like been work that's been drugged in me since primary school already. It's just work because I was scared of my parents. My parents aren't really strict, no, but I just think it was me, man. Like I was just always kak bang with them, so I always just used to listen and do this and
do that.
do my work and pass and whatever.
Is it out of like
Yeah.
wanting to define these skills, or is it just I need to do this now, I'm doing this now?
I feel like it's because I want to do this now and I'm doing that now. Like,
Okay.
It's
Okay.
because life is expensive, right? Like
Yeah.
for me, this industry, I was telling someone the other day, this industry for me feels like it's more expensive than life itself because
Yeah.
I could live on the bare minimum. But in the industry, like, you can only, if you want to be in the industry, bruh, there's so much that you have to put into it. Like,
Yeah.
it takes most of your time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the reason why I do all that shit is because money-wise, obviously, where we come from, it's hard to make money. So
Yeah.
I need to pay 10K for a music video. Nah, fuck it, bruh.
You might
Yeah.
as well
Per
do it
music
yourself.
video. Let me
Yeah.
rather pay 15K for a camera and shoot all the videos myself.
Yeah.
That's
Start
what's up with that
DIYing
end
it
of the
and you
day.
can save that and turn out more product
Yeah, like
as well.
I need to book studio for myself.
Yeah, I think everybody sees these pictures and they're like, oh yeah, you live in the good life, you don't do much, but they don't realize like, I do
Don't
a
do
lot
much.
of shit.
That's why I don't
It's
post
not a
pictures of
9
me
to
living. I post
5.
pictures of me working.
It's crazy.
It's my life. I don't have a life. Guys,
Yeah,
but
this is it all the time.
yeah, 24/7. And it's wild that you say that because a lot of people, and like recently, like we've opened the studio again at our place because, yeah, we weren't operating, but you're in that space and you start to actually realize again, like the investment that you made a couple of years ago is still relevant today because there's so many stuff where you're saving yourself from paying all of these money for studio time. For example, so many studios has opened now since lockdown has happened because everyone is suddenly becoming an artist now.
Exactly.
It's a big
And
trend,
and-
yeah.
it's 2,000 rand an hour,
Exactly.
2 hours for you to do a
So-
song.
And even if you take that calculations, right, you just calculate how much music you have.
Yeah.
And then put all that money, like just calculate how much it is to mix and master one song, how much it is
Yeah.
to go do one video, put all of that together in a professional term, in a
Yeah.
professional way, and then calculate all that stuff over the years that you've done.
Yeah.
And then when you get that total, maybe it's like adds up to 100K or something, and you just do even more, you know what I
Way
mean?
more. Just having you guys at the boot camp.
Yeah.
I did a analysis on because I was like everyone's rate that was there.
Yeah.
All of the artists was there, the production that was there. We came to 750,000. Just us being there
Yeah.
in that space doing that. So
Creating
think
that.
about it. 750,000 rand went over a 3-day period. And now someone else comes and be like, yeah, bro, look, I have 100 rand. I just wanna
Okay.
Exactly,
okay.
bruh.
Can you
But
just
if
fix
you,
this?
my point was, if you owned everything that was there, the house, the space, you know,
Yeah.
just and everything,
Yeah.
how much would it have been then? You know
A
what
lot
I mean?
cheaper, yeah.
So like what I'm saying is like I don't think I've spent over 40 or even 30K for all the equipment that I have right now.
Fine.
Yeah.
But
You've made over
But-
$1 million rands of music.
yeah,
and stuff like
worth of music and
Yeah.
worth of video product,
Yeah.
everything.
that. I
But that's
feel
the thing, like when you in this industry, a lot of people, it's a trade-off game to help that end product. You know, it is a very expensive buy-in. Like you're saying, you need to do a lot on your own, and I think people forget that to work together benefits both because, like you're saying, I can pay you a rate right now, and we can both be at this level and go, rather leave it because I can't afford it, or we can do this trade-off and maybe create a project that gives us a better step up in that
And
return.
that's what we do.
and that's also about, and I like I like where we are moving right now in Cape Town, and you have been an advocate for that for a very long time of like this thing of not wanting to work together because there's been this thing where they say no, people in Cape Town don't want to work together, You know, because that's been I think that's been the excuse
Like, yeah.
to buffer all of that, to basically hide people's ill feelings towards each other. Because once you put that people in the same room and they finally now pass the finger beef on Facebook and they in real life, you'll be like, but you guys don't really have a problem with each other.
Yeah.
This whole
They do
thing
have
was a
problem with each
facade.
other. They're just not being real in front of each
Yeah.
other. They have to use
When
Facebook
I'm
for
here,
that,
I'm
like.
gonna be nice.
So they'd rather use Facebook to be real with each other than in real life not be real with each other. Because I mean, there
I don't
was
know, maybe it's, because I mean, the more guests we get on here, the more like-minded we see everybody is. The thing is, I don't understand why we don't want to work
Yeah,
together. And we're all thinking that, why the fuck we're not working together? Like, it's
That's why
weird.
it's good. I think that's why this is good as well, so that people can get
start talking about it.
into the artist's mind, and see what
Yeah, see that I
and
actually
maybe
am keen, you should have just asked.
and see that I'm not really an eye, you know what I mean?
yeah, because
I might have resting bitch face, but I'm nice.
someone came here and someone's like, yo, I changed my perception of you. I thought that you this other brand. I was like, no, that's what you see. You know, I mean, it's not.
But this is exactly the problem that I have with platforms like Disclaimer, MTV, and even the local like Hectic 9 and things like that. All those local platforms, they don't really give a shit about the person that they're talking to. They want I need content right now. I think the people like this that's popping. Come on and say these, ha ha ha, and then what's your favorite color? Ha ha. Next thing, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, talk to
There's
me.
no-
Like, I'm a
there's no
real person.
sustenance
Like,
in
what?
all of that stuff, yeah.
I understand that
It's just
certain
content,
platforms need to do certain things, but at the same time, where's your investigative journalism or your ode to the journalistic aspect where you dig a little deeper and show the world, that this is a person and we can craft that public perception as well and create opportunities from there.
I think they just like at that level whereby time is money, bro.
know?
Because you do this is like I don't know how long that this wouldn't fit in Hectic 9 basically.
Oh no.
They got-
Well, I mean, if we were going to be production standard, if we had to do 40 minutes with the 20 minutes of 5 minute ads for TV, then they'll take it. But obviously, TV is not going to do this.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Like,
what
TV is not going to be
that's
like.
my point is that.
Yeah, TV is
This
not going to be
roast
like,
TV, bro.
oh, stay your puss. And they were like, let's cut to
But
an
they'll
ad.
play, back when we were younger, they play some raunchy shit at night, but they won't play us, what?
Yeah, you remember
My speech is just to play at 12 at night, and that's the own.
I mean, after
Who's
10 is
watching?
fine. Apparently, in like the whole broadcasting thing, after 10 is the time where they can at least do that. But I mean, like after 12, then you must put the TV safe. SMS upon.
Yeah. 3, 13, 14. I will
for
take
those who
that
had
baby,
phones
no
at
shame. But I know what you're saying, like this won't fit in that time slot, but you might not, you don't have to get that deep, but the quality of conversation doesn't have to be so surface level or almost
All the
like,
time, yeah.
you know what I mean? Like dig a smidgen deeper or
Yeah.
have something else. I mean, there's probably a young kid at home who sees you on something and wants to get a little bit deeper, and they might not quite understand what the journey is by just your artistry, and maybe if you connect with them on a conversational level, they can have it click and be inspired even further, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And being on set in general in production, because you went from, music production and obviously being in studios to actually being full on shooting music videos and stuff like that, bro. That transition for you, brother, how is the workload? And ultimately, how do you find it? Do you think it's like something that you'd really, really potentially get into the future and have an actual company to do it?
Yeah, no, definitely. But I want to have a production company, to be honest. Like, I want to actually produce movies and shit one day. So it's definitely something I'm looking to get into in the future,
Yeah.
But I'm starting now already, I'm practicing. But the transition from music to that, for me, I just keep it together the whole time because it's art, man. So
Yeah.
as long as it's entertainment and
Yeah,
art,
yeah. They
then
all sort
for
of,
me, it doesn't even feel like I'm transitioning into
yeah,
something
it's just
because...
overlapping.
Yeah, because it came naturally for me to do videos because
Yeah.
I needed a music video for myself. I was like,
Visuals,
yeah.
but like I can't afford to pay you, and you offering for free, but I don't trust you, so I'm gonna tell like,
Yeah, and it's literally almost been 3 years now, eh? From that transition into the music.
2016.
2016.
5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
But
yeah.
film that's a high buy-in. That's a very high buy-in industry. It's not easy
Film production, post production.
And I mean, you have a
Bye-bye.
music video in that yellow car that's on TV also.
There's a yellow car on TV with me in it.
No, with Soul and that other guy. I'm not sure what his name is.
TRP.
With TRP and that other guy.
Oh, Nate Johnson, yeah.
You
Oh,
shot-
yeah.
They shot that music video and I saw that music video on TV.
Oh, yeah. But that wasn't my video. That's K&D's Shoot Your Shot.
Shoot your shot.
Yeah.
What's his name? King Next Door or
Yeah,
something
King
like
Next
that.
Door. No way.
Okay. So as the cinematographers, bro, like in Cape Town, who is of the people that you'd actually like to work with, bro?
Cinematographers in
Or
Cape
the
Town.
people that shooting videos, that
Yeah.
you've seen work out, yeah?
No one.
Nah, it's not like that. It's just that
No one, I'm fine.
They're not on my level.
That's the reason why I do it myself. Bro. That's the reason why I do it myself. But like, I don't really know people. Like the thing is, I'm not actively in that scene where I can be like, yo, this brother has a
You
jazz
seem like the
photographer,
type with your head down, you're doing your work, you're
Yeah,
going forward.
like for me, the visual production side isn't. I'm not as active in that industry as I am in the music industry.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean I don't upskill myself to the
Yeah.
standard of the people in the industry.
Yeah.
So it's just that I'm not in the industry in that way, man. But
Yeah, in
I
that
know a few people.
networking aspect.
I know a few people. I've worked with K&D already. I obviously would have loved to work with Motion Bully, and but
That's
that's the only means I know. Like,
That's
literally.
fine.
I know a lot of people, but like not on that level. We are actually too familiar with their work.
Yeah, I
know
feel
what
you.
I mean.
I feel you. And you're familiar with K&D's work,
Yeah,
obviously, and you're
and
familiar with
Motion
Motion's
as well.
work as well. And Motion actually is one of the people that changed the standard for music videos in Cape Town in general.
definitely.
Yeah. And K&D, Shoot Your Shot, actually I saw the way they came up with the videos. And I mean, he was an artist as well.
Yeah.
It was part of that project that we had.
Yeah, he was part of that. Yeah. The boom thing.
The boom tape, yes. And seeing the actual, for me, I'm always fascinated by the fact that people are not afraid to venture into territories that's unknown.
Yeah.
And then when they get there, it's not even like the work is crap, because you get people that's in that space most of the time, but you look at this stuff, you'll be like, this guy's not shooting videos for 10 years.
No way.
It's lying, I could have done this with my phone. And then you get people that's just really curious, and you'll be like, but this is so dope, and they'll still be like, nah, I think I can still do a lot better than this. You know what I mean? And in Cape Town in general, when it comes to a lot of stuff, there's a certain standard of a lot of the stuff now where there's no more whack shit that's coming out.
Yeah.
Remember when people just used to drop
If-
no, like,
Disclaimer,
yeah, it's not you, but no cap, like the actual.
I'm sure there's whack shit out there.
No, but I mean, it's not as much as it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The
It was once upon a
industry
time.
standard has days.
Was once upon a time everyone was
Aye.
dropping music, and then you were just like SoundCloud this, SoundCloud that, and
Yeah.
the rap music was like what MTV did to them. It's like the beat is here, but that person is here. You know what I mean? And the music videos that came out, and you were like, yo, this is atrocious. People used to love to use that black and white thing, and the sweater is red. We were even guilty of that. You know what I mean?
But he's leveled up since then.
Exactly, but I mean, like, everything was so overly saturated.
Yeah.
That-
Yeah, like the industry is new. The industry is new.
There is a
like,
turning point here. Yeah.
In Cape Town, and the energy also.
even this might be whack in 15 years' time.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
No, but I mean,
I know, I hear you. Yeah. Look,
Disclaimer,
every
I cannot-
time there's a new episode, I'm like, damn, that last episode is pretty trash. And I'm always thinking of, because you always, once you do something, you want to improve on
Yeah,
it. Like
like,
it's your nature to want to improve on it.
everything
get
that
better.
for me as an artist, even everything
Yeah, you listen to your own
more than
music and
4
you're like,
years ago is
cringe.
whack. Or 3 years ago is a cack whack.
I feel.
So
No,
Yeah, you
I-
look back like, what is I thinking? Why?
well, not to be biased.
V has always been perfect.
Exactly. Please and thank you. I mean, even ACE has music on my computer. Envy has music on my computer. I'll be like, nigga, if this drop this shit now, then people will be like, wow, this is shit. They'll be like, you know, this motherfucker did that 2015.
Yeah.
And you'll be like,
maybe,
yo,
maybe it depends when you drop it. I don't know. Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, but
as
it's,
opposed to
there's
when you
that
do
it. But it
loop
seems
where
like
it can
it's
come
moving-
back again. If you wait
Yeah.
long enough,
but
it
it
comes
seems like
back.
it's moving
Yeah.
backwards.
But I feel like if you sit on something for 2 years like this, you can't tell me you're not touching up on that thing before you.
Oh
release
yeah,
it
you're not
again.
gonna put it out.
You know
as
what I mean? You
is,
just
yeah.
because that's what I do. Sometimes I have the song for like 2 years and then I just go back and like, nah, wait, let me change the
Maybe just
Change
tweaks,
something.
just
Yeah.
make it a little modern.
Tweak it a
Yeah.
bit.
added the baby bass instead of whatever bass was
Yeah,
Back
you
then,
know, the
yeah.
club bass that
Yeah, you know what I
uh,
mean. So it actually sounds like you did it
like in
yesterday.
modern day time. Yeah.
You just evolved it.
And that's the thing about ideas and stuff like that. It's like art. It doesn't really lose its essence in general. So you could be sitting on archive. I saw you had an archive of music of like what, almost 400 songs.
900 and something.
Yeah.
It's not my own music.
But I mean, you've produced 900 and something music in the span of how long?
That's like 9 years now.
Yeah.
So you're looking at 100 songs a year.
Refining the skill,
Refining
you
the
know,
skills,
making
yeah.
it better. So now when you do put something out, there's a lot of shortcuts that you already know. There's
Yeah,
a lot
like-
of, you know.
Like, I feel like at this point, all of us right here, right now, like, we might, if we release something tomorrow, it might not be the best thing you release, but it definitely won't be whack.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, you're not going to release something whack at this point. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
we've
there's-
already did more than 5,000.
You know what I mean?
7,000.
It can't be complete
what I mean?
trash.
Yeah, but
I feel it would be disappointing if any one of us at this stage drops some trash shit. Especially
like, how
if
can you drop
if
trash
you've
at-
been around.
yeah,
You know
like,
what I mean?
at
If
least drop something okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that we will accept, okay.
Yeah, like,
But that's the nature of like the art and being in the public eye. There is you do need to have a certain standard, and you need to keep aware of, you know, the audience and what the
definitely.
times are now
but
and what
yeah,
people
for
are
me, that
interested.
is more that's more industry shit, like
Yeah.
entertainment. But when it comes to art, just
That-
art in general, it's the love for art. Like,
Yeah.
as long as you don't do something that doesn't make sense and that isn't,
Yeah.
It must come from
that-
somewhere
yeah,
with
it
a
has to
meaning.
be
Yeah.
pure and it has to be creative.
Yeah.
As long as you can do that at this point, which we all
If
can
there's an
do.
authentic process to
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
depending on what type of artist you are, some people just want the fame and want the attention and
Yeah.
all that. They want to be on the waves and stay relevant.
What
Yeah.
kind of artist
Yeah.
are you?
And I mean, you're speaking of relevancy right now.
I'm on to that one.
But you're speaking about relevancy right now, and how have you managed to stay like this relevant in a space and time where you are one of those people that don't really care about what happens in the industry or keeping up to date with that? How do you stay and always stay in people's conversations, bro?
Yeah, but I just feel like I just feel like I'm being myself like most of the time, because I don't go with waves, man. I mean, I can't even vibe to, if you play the hottest song out right now and everyone's vibing to it, I probably wouldn't be vibing to it.
Yeah.
Because I can't like force myself to like something that I don't like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So a lot of people can do that. They have the natural ability to do that.
To fake
And they
it.
have the natural ability to blend in as well.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I can't blend in
I feel you.
for shit. So
I mean, you're one of the tallest motherfuckers in the room, so it's gonna be a hard job for you to blend
why
in.
not?
One of, yeah.
Yeah.
He's looking at it. He'll be like,
not the
I'm not going to
tallest
speak
one,
as
not the
nigga taller than me.
Light poles in the room, but yeah, I feel you, bro. And again, it's about being authentically you.
So that I don't think that logically makes sense. But to me, it makes sense. You know what I mean?
No, but
because
not-
people always speak about being real. You know what I mean? So if you be real, and I think things will just work out for you, whether it works out in the public eye or not.
Yeah.
And as long as you're happy. Because
Yeah.
if you be real, then you're happy. So that for
Exactly.
me is success, being happy.
Yeah.
I feel you.
I mean, doesn't mean that I don't want the money. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I
Like,
feel you. But
So you answered my question. You're an artist.
Is it artist? Yeah, but no, she wants the bag.
But
Obviously.
that's the
I'm
thing,
an
you know,
artist.
with trying to chase that, you're going to have the fame in a way, and to separate that, it becomes tricky because you're going to have one. There's not one without the
'Cause
other.
look-
With that success, they sort of
Yeah.
come hand in hand a bit. Yeah.
like everything has the world balances itself out. Life
Yeah.
balances itself out.
Yeah.
So like they say, shortcuts are dangerous. You know,
Yeah.
you never take shortcuts.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
So people who ride waves, it's the same as a shortcut. It's dangerous. They're gonna fall off.
Yeah.
So
'Cause you'll only
everything,
be relevant for that time.
everything that is harder is always
Yeah.
gonna be better.
A
It's
bit
gonna
more
take longer.
stable.
It's gonna
Yeah.
take longer time. Most
Yeah.
importantly, time.
Yeah.
So because
An effort.
time and effort, because you can have time and put in no effort. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But if you put in that time and the effort,
Yeah.
like you're always gonna be relevant, like
Yeah.
to whatever you're doing, whether you're relevant to the public or to the fans, but you're always gonna be relevant to whatever your purpose is. If
Yeah.
you just stay consistent.
With
So
yeah, I feel
but
you.
waves, because when it comes to waves, you rely on a wave. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Unless you're the one
As
making
quickly
the wave.
as it comes, it
Yeah,
can
unless
go.
you're the one making the wave, but
Yeah.
not everyone. But
As
only a
that
handful
skill
of
is-
people can make
Can
waves.
continuously make
Yeah,
waves,
and those
I
are the
feel you.
people that actually put
in the
that,
time and the
that
effort,
time and the
yeah.
effort. So they can always control that wave. They're just laughing at you.
Yeah.
The wave,
Jumping
Drake
on
is
one
making, maybe
thing,
making a wave now. No disclaimer, but maybe he's watching Tory Lanez and be like, yeah, you can ride this wave now. Ride my wave or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, I made this wave, you're gonna fall off now.
I have
make
a
another
foundation.
wave.
Yeah, I feel
So-
you. I feel you. So it's fundamentally it's about building a solid foundation for yourself. And again, it comes back to
That
the
was
refining.
Yeah, refining that
it's
skill.
like wine, you have to put in the time for it to be what it needs to be. Okay. I get that. I get that. So don't ride the wave, most importantly, because the wave is dangerous.
You can ride a wave if you're a professional surfer, you know what I mean? Because then you can just get on
Yeah,
everyone's
if you
wave
know, yeah.
until you're old and you can't anymore. then
You can
then
drown also for the wave. 'cause a
There
lot-
are sharks
lot
in
of
the
people-
water.
yeah,
Be careful.
We've seen people come and go in Cape Town, especially. We've seen so many people come and go, and so many people would. There was once upon a time where, what's this? Winter Wonderland was one of the biggest stages to be
Sure,
on. Nah?
yeah. I went to
People
2
like-
only.
Nah, I went to Winter Wonderland twice.
What they only 2?
No, there was like 5.
Oh, yeah, okay. I only went
Ratanga,
to 2. Yeah.
Good Up Center.
I only went to the Tanga ones. That was lit.
Yeah, and I went to one in town. And I was like, I was young, but I felt so old. I was like,
Wasn't there
enjoying-
like a dark side one also? Or is that just a different?
Oh, that was that atmosphere.
Yeah.
That was that atmosphere. Oh,
No, man. Next to the Tanga, there was where the Hillsongs thingy is now. I don't know.
OG one.
There was
the
like
OG one was at Ratanga. The first 2 started at Ratanga.
ah, dude.
At the dark side.
This dark side, they had those under 18
And then the
parties.
dance were found.
Yeah, and then they closed it down, and now it's a church, huh? Crazy
real?
life.
I don't know anything about
Do you
that.
have you
I don't
never?
know.
Serious?
Anything.
Okay.
I never went to that shit.
Damn.
Didn't? Because he was scared of his parents.
Yeah, I was scared.
I couldn't go to places like that, bro. Like, I
See,
could,
what are you at
it was
home? You were at
intimidating to,
home,
like-
kid? Or
I just didn't get it, man, because obviously also most of these places, because of the way people speak, I know it's not like my type of music. I don't know if there was hip hop. There was ever hip hop at those places.
I think it was maybe like pop, mostly pop or EDM
yeah, like
vibes.
and there's
And
house
those songs
vibe.
that was, that was,
House,
that
yeah.
was
Like, that's not
sexy
my music.
back.
And-
Yeah, that vibes that time.
And
Okay, but
Faith
that time I
Evans.
was in primary. When that came out, I was in primary school.
Sexy
Like,
back, you were in primary school?
yeah,
Yeah, I feel old as a bitch.
I was grade 6 to be
Oh,
specific.
when did Sexy Back come out?
my
wait, I
God.
must.
2006, bro. Actually, I was grade 5, yeah.
2006, you were grade 5.
Yeah.
That was
How
my first year
old
of
are
high
you?
school. That was my first year of high school.
Oh,
2006.
how old was I, Logan?
You were here.
Okay,
You
I
were
was
also in
young.
primary school.
Yeah, I was just in primary school.
You were
Thanks,
like
Piggy.
you.
She was 13 and he was...
No, no,
was
bro.
14.
She was.
I know because I know what grades they were in my
If
high
you
school.
were-
Oh, I thought you didn't know me. Now you want to go? You're lying.
You told me this once, like now recently, like 2 years ago.
So you and him were the same grade, no?
No, he was 3 years.
you know,
3
wow.
years.
So wait, so you were younger than me?
Yeah, you 2 years. He's 1 year ahead of you, right?
Yes, 1 year.
Yeah, and he's 3 years ahead of me.
Okay.
Or you 2 years ahead
So
of me.
2 years. Okay.
And you 2 years ahead of him.
Yeah.
Yo. I'm your father.
Oh, goddamn, yeah, I'm the youngest one.
Eyes up, Piggy.
Damn you.
Okay, nah. So
Okay.
then, yeah, Sexy Back was long ago. Then I maybe would have been like just ending primary school then. so,
Ending.
Yeah, I was 11. Bro. I remember because I remember the years.
You
I
were
remember
11.
that year was hot in
My
with
son is
music.
11 years old now. You say, you're 11, I'm really your father. 2006.
So
Oh, shit.
what were you like? Are you indoors like always working, or your parents very strict on you?
Not to say I was always working. I was just like indoors with family and
You look
cousins
like
and
that
friends.
mother that was looking
Like I was
forward
with
to the
friends
weekend.
and stuff,
Yeah.
but we didn't like my friends didn't really. I
Because
don't know.
that
It's almost like
cultivation of the art and wanting to make music,
Yeah.
it wasn't back then already, were there?
yeah, nah. In
When did you
primary
start?
school.
Because usually you find when it's like somebody who's into rap artistry, it's usually they like the party scene or it got from there, somewhere in the party
but
scene or the friend scene.
But I came into the game screaming "fuck Illuminati," bro. So I wasn't that type of hip hop, bro. Like we have a song called "fuck Illuminati," no cack.
Damn.
That was my vibe,
Yo,
bro.
yo, yo.
That was my
Yeah.
vibe. So I came in like that, like cut
Yeah.
deep, bro. So
And
it wasn't.
Okay.
When did it
Okay,
start? Like, when was
okay.
the first time you made a beat?
Probably when I was 15, yeah, 15.
Sure.
15.
That's not really that young, but that's when I probably opened FL for the first time and quote unquote
Yeah, played
2010.
around.
2010, yeah.
Biggie, Biggie's old. You just made Biggie feel so old.
You
Oh
already
my
had a paar numbers
god.
out that time. That's why.
Biggie's like the math. Shit. Where's that meme with that
Biggie
girl
got
with all the numbers you know,
15,000
just
hours
looking?
already. Yeah.
It started in 2010 for me as well.
Oh, okay.
Like, I nearly started pushing
Getting
in
into
2010.
it, yeah.
But I've always been in, like, jazz bands and all of that shit. And my dad was a musician, so the music has always been there. I was DJing since fucking 7 years old. I was on that shit to the point we were DJing with no earphones. We had a manager.
You must have American blood in you. Man.
I do. Strong. Strong, brother.
Because only Americans start when they're 8 or 6 years old. Bro. There's no one that I know that started it. Everyone started 15, 16.
Bro, and the fact was like my family used to put me on music duty, all of the functions I had to do music duty and all
Yeah,
of
you
that
see,
shit.
there's always this childhood love cultivation for
Yeah.
music when it comes from that artistry.
And they leave you when you're a child, but when you get older, they're like, "Jy moet werk." It's like,
But you let me like this now. What?
you then put me in music, now suddenly I must go work. Until I brought the check home from, a couple of checks from a performance. Like, oh yeah,
like,
look,
okay.
I made 20K of a month's performance. They were like, oh yeah, no, you can actually do this thing.
It's fine.
You know, you can only have that sit down when you're actually showing
When you
proof
have
of
the-
product.
Yeah.
You know, and be like, okay, no, it's the thing.
But it
And-
does. It's in the beginning. You often see that. I think that's another. You say you ride the wave, and if you hop on, you see that occurrence where somebody does ride the wave, and if you don't know how to deal with that type of success or that type, it can ruin you a bit. So you hop on the wave and you get a bit of success, but it can fuck with your mentality a little bit if you're not authentic and stable and know what you want as well. Yeah.
and how you want it. Because like you said, we've seen a
People
lot of
around you
fall.
change. They see it differently now. Things like that.
They used to be a massive ass team. You guys still that big.
That- look, still my brothers. Still my brothers.
So friends, yeah. But no, I feel you
Like-
because we were even no cap. You met me and we were like 13, 14 that time in the business.
Yeah.
We were 14 people on a label.
Yeah, you guys are way more than
Yeah, and Sony wanted to give us a bag, and then we were like 14 people taking an advance. It's not the one. Then it started to be like, but I do more work than you, and all of that shit. And then
Becomes crazy.
everyone just stopped, thinking that if everyone stopped, then the whole thing is gonna stop. Bro, I don't like determining my fate on someone else. You know what I mean? That's been one thing for me. I like making something happen, and once you take responsibility for a lot of stuff, you start to learn, like, if you're being held accountable, you stop pointing fingers, because you'd be like, someone would be like, they're supposed to do that, but you're taking responsibility, so you don't even mind doing it. And a lot of people's like, why do you keep doing this and that for those people? And I'll be like, but it's not for them really, because I'm actually getting way better at what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So that I can.
They also at the other end of the wave, if you think about it like that.
Exactly.
They're just gonna take that for now. When you get tired of them, you're gonna leave them, and they're gonna have nothing.
Exactly, and there's so many people that come and go, and there's very few people that stay constant, bro. And consistency is one of the key elements to, like you're saying, the time and the effort, because you can put in time and effort, yes, but if you're not consistent with all of those things, your time and effort is basically going to waste. You know what I mean? And I mean, like, you've actually maximized your brand, like your brand diversity, to the point where
Salute.
you're no longer just that one person in that box. People can no longer just say, oh, you're talking about Illrow the rapper, or first it was Illrow the producer. So then they were like, oh, you're not talking about Illrow the rapper.
The skill set's grown.
And now you're saying like, oh, Illrow that shoot music videos as well. You know what I mean? Oh, and he does sound engineering. Oh, and he can set up the whole thing and run all of that shit. And you've been on Slicker. You know, so now the CV just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So all of the people that fell by the wayside, they're always going to feel like they're going to have to do 100 times and work 100 times harder than you, but you already have the 100 times working harder type attitude, because like you say, you're about the working hard, about getting what you have to, and actually having the tunnel vision and doing, you know what I mean? So I've seen that you've recently started working with is it Mr. Hines or the whole YGen? And that experience in general, especially in a market where they've cornered off a part of the market, where they can continually serve their niche market. How did you find that working space and that working ethic? Like, did it match what you were doing? And do you think
I would say it, like I'm used to it, because even the cast, even the where I came from is exactly the same. You know what I mean? When I was hustling in the casts and doing that part of the music industry, like, there was only everyone who was making it in that circle also cornered themselves off from the side of the world. You know what I mean? And I always saw it, and I was like, yeah, I see this is happening. There's nothing I can do about it now, but that's why I always used to make friends with everyone else, or Brasso, you know, that's why we know each other. That's why I know Logan. That's why I know all the men that we know in our close circles.
Yeah.
Simultaneously while working on the other side.
On
So
the
I've
other
always
side as
been
well.
kind of here and seeing how in the market, the niche markets are closed off.
And you attend
from
school
certain-
this side of the
you-
world as well.
Yeah.
Do you is part of what you want to do like to open those niches up, or do you feel like you fit in a particular niche, or because you're always saying like you with this group, you with that group, you with that. Is there that? Do you feel like you're a bit of a bridge there, or you want to connect it a bit?
Like, I do want to connect it. Personally, I don't know what I feel. I'm just gonna take what comes to me, but maybe I don't know. Like for me personally, but there needs to be a bridge because because Cape Town is big, bruh, but
It's small at the same time.
yeah, and it's small at the same time. But if the two worlds could collide, then it's double, bruh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And we
It's
can
even
get so
bigger.
much done.
And you look what the one side is doing right now.
Yeah.
Kasi side is doing very well.
Bro,
Yeah.
You know what I
like
mean? And then
Kylie
the
Chai
big-
is thriving
You know what I
as
mean?
far as like entrepreneurship goes, as far as like creating opportunities in general for everyone to thrive, and then also creating a space, because places like Sikwa Ace, Rands, Milk, all of those places, you would have never thought 5, 6, 7 years ago there would have been places like that in the Kasi, especially for the stigma behind the place. But when you go there, it's like it's New Year's every fucking day. I was in Kylie Chai for 4 days. I have a homie was like, nigga, I'm moving to Kylie Chai. I'm like, no, it's not the same. You were here for 4 days and experience what's happening here.
Yeah, they sold it liquor. They sold it.
Yeah, but it was fucking dope. And like, we're actually speaking in terms of like trying to bridge the gap between Kylie Chai and Mitchell's Plain. Because when we were in Kylie Chai, they were like, they were actually like, thank you guys for actually coming to this space and going where we're taking you out to see what our culture is about, and actually being open enough to accept that and then even vibe with us on that, because we really just want people to see that it's not like what they think it is. And I kind of, bro, was so inspired, and I kind of felt responsible for trying to make that happen on my side of the world as well, because I mean, we are 5 minutes away from each other.
Bruh, if you walk over the road, it's like a minute. Because here's Kylie Chai, it's Swart Club Road, bruh.
And you there by Mandalay as well, literally through the farm, over the road, then you're there.
I was there.
And then, have you seen a lot of similarities? Because I mean, like once you're in a clique or in a niche, you tend to only see it from that point of view. But being that unbiased drifter between the two, I suppose that there are probably so many more similarities between the two cultures than there.
Like it's just the language, bruh. That's like,
Yeah, that's it. Everything else, the
That's no
motivation.
cap. It's literally just the language. You look at everyone, you'll be like, and you'll be reminded of so much of your homies. You'll be like, yo, this is actually just like my homie there in the hood.
Yeah.
And if they were open enough to see that,
Yeah.
they don't actually see like, we all are actually the same people, bro. And
language barriers.
What do you think
physical
is that at the bottom of the pit raw sentence that splits everybody? Like genuine, like why the fuck not? Like what is it that keeps like geographically it's just you're from somewhere else and I can't get past that.
it's not even,
I mean, you're saying you've been there, you've been here, you don't see that you have the privilege of not growing up with
It's
that.
maybe as ignorance, bruh.
yeah, definitely.
Ignorance, because
And it's from like you saying, you were brought up in a house where your parents will put blinders onto the whole racial thing. There's a lot of people say there'd be 20% of you, and there'd be 80% of the parents that are still very racially, driven. Everything, the decision that they make is based on race. And the fact that they can be like, saying Africans, I'll be like, these Africans do this. I'll be like, you from South Africa, right? Like, how do you say these Africans do that? But you're not an African. It's weird. You know what I mean? Just the fact that they could, because now you're speaking it from an American term. You know what I mean?
Or anywhere
But when
outside of
someone
Africa.
from America come here and you'll be like, no, I'm colored, they'll be like, nigga, you African.
Yeah.
You know, and you-
Perspective, yeah.
yeah, and you don't. If you say you colored to an American or anyone outside, they'll be like, "Why are you being like that with yourself? Don't you? You know, it's kind of like you're degrading yourself.
Yeah, because
You know?
that is that.
Yeah,
that's
'cause-
a degrading name. And that's why it was given.
You know what I mean? So I fill out stuff and people will be like, race. What are you, nigga? Someone tick all the boxes. Besides white and Indian, I'll be like, I'm black, white, I'm black,
Yeah,
colored,
I
everything.
had to get police clearance for work, and this lady was like, so are you colored or Asian? And I'm like, that's it, that's where she stopped. And I was like, there's no way that's the only shit on that block. Or you're only going to ask me that. I was like, I'm
If you
colored.
go to Asia, you're
I was
Asian.
like, whoa.
I feel you,
Go to Asia,
but
Asia.
it's the whole mindset that and look, we are still, as a country, we're still very young with with our freedom and the liberation and us being able to say what we want to say. Because back in the day, if you had to say whatever you wanted to say, then you'd either get locked up or you disappear. Our parents still have that fear. Because when lockdown happened and Silla was like, if we catch you outside, we're going to lock up. Parents were panicking. Don't go outside. And I was like,
That's
what
trauma.
happened to y'all in the party?
Trauma, bro.
It's like, at 6 o'clock, are you coming inside now? White and I, we would drink and his must be, they're going to lock you up. You just walk to the shop. That's not even curfew. They're going to lock you up. I'll walk him halfway. My mom even said, if they lock you up, I'm not coming to fetch you. I'd be like, what the
I never thought about it like that. That
Bro,
actually
but
makes
it's
sense. That makes sense.
trauma.
Yeah, it's trauma.
Heavy. Because 6 o'clock, it's like this, bro, the stuff.
Yeah.
And I asked my mom,
PTSD
I was
a
like,
little bit, yeah.
Why 6
PTSD.
o'clock? Why 6 o'clock? It's like, y'all lose your shit.
Yeah.
They'd be like, at a time, if you weren't in the house before dark and that yellow van came around you, there was a possibility you don't see that person again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because they wanted to.
Yeah.
So when the president said lockdown, they went through lockdowns in apartheid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when they
Yeah.
said lockdown again, it was like, so you could see like that wounds is not even healed yet, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that made me
Exactly.
realize like we haven't been a free country for very long.
Yeah. Still fresh.
Still fresh.
You know what I mean?
And
Only
the
our great
nature
grandchildren
of
will
I don't even think it's a color-based thing. I think it's a money-based thing. The nature of like not financially flourishing people is that they don't often have the time to get in touch with their feelings, to move through things. It's always I gotta just keep going forward. And that kind of creates these gaps where I do still sit with that PTSD of years and years and years ago because I'm not able to spend the time and have the freedom to
Definitely.
pass through it and get over it and move through it.
Definitely. And our parents in general, like most of the parents, didn't have a proper way of speaking to their children because of where they came from again. You know what I mean? There was this very, you do this when I say you do that. And if you don't do that,
And I beat you.
punishment. You know what I mean?
But that's why Illrow said, look what it makes. Sometimes it turns out good, you know?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Illrow's parents beat him and now he works hard.
Nah, they didn't beat me, but I didn't say that. Did I say that?
You didn't say that. It was so,
I was so good that I didn't
my
get
dad
it.
was
I'm too
putting
clever,
time,
bro.
nigga. Put that. If you heard that cupboard go open and that belt come out. Have you ever done the worm after you've done it in the bed? Just a moving, nigga. You know, I said it, I'll say it again. One day my mom told my dad beat his ass. And if your wife says beat his ass,
You know.
you know, because the wife would be like, not so hard. But my mom was like, kill it.
Take it.
That nigga was like doing the things, bro. So that's why for me, I was like, I'll never beat my kid, bro. Ever.
No, it feels...
Yeah, and I like, and it really just took all that we really wanted was communication as children. You know, you could never go to your mom and be like, yo, today, so and so, or I had a dream and I went to bed. You know what I mean?
What
They'll
does
be
that
like, "Tess,
mean?"
oh, the cat. You're like, but I'm going through puberty. What is this white stuff that's coming out here? And now you have an older brother that's going through puberty before you. Bro, I had a brother that was going through puberty and I'm fucking 5 years younger than him. So I've seen stuff that I wasn't supposed to see. And you know how fucked up it is, bro? They'll
Like what?
sit there
Yo, hectic.
and you've been sitting with them and they all the friends masturbating and you're a child and then they tell you come sit there and you're
What
sitting
child
there.
did this, bro?
Bro,
Was that normal? That's like...
Illrow's like, nah, bro, I was picking up Fruity Loops and I was
Yo.
still...
I didn't do that with my brothers.
you had a fun life, bro. You
You
were
don't know the
safe.
hood. You don't know the hood.
I've seen someone die at a very young age. I've seen a lot of
Yeah.
stuff at a very young age. I've seen pumping of hoes. I've seen a
Damn,
lot of money. I've
Piggy.
seen a lot of all of those stuff.
It makes character though, eh?
Yeah,
Builds your
before I was like
character,
at a
damn
certain
it.
age. I mean, like, I lost 15 of my friends before I was 23 years old.
Shit.
You know what I mean? All of them dead. So imagine, like, you just start to realize, like, yo, life is actually...
Yeah.
It's wild. You know what I mean? And the way you have to operate and certain ways and things that you do, because anything can happen at any time.
Yeah.
So growing up knowing that anything can happen at any time as a kid, you're just like, okay, let me just operate
It's a very
totally
real
different.
perspective.
Yeah,
so,
and
yeah,
the responsibility that's being put on you, you know what I mean? You'll be like, I'm so young, I just want to be a child, but you can't
you
really be a
gotta
child
be on
because
dodging
that's
bullets
been
and shit,
taken
yeah.
away from you. You know what I mean? That's it. But Mr. Illrow, before we even wrap it up, bro, please tell the people where they can find you. Also, anything that's coming out that's new, please. I know you're talking about shooting movies and stuff, so script. OnlyFans?
Like 15.
No OnlyFans, no?
What?
No, yeah.
No OnlyFans. Being like, I will subscribe.
I won't subscribe. They're like,
Yeah.
no.
I don't even know what you're
shoot it for
talking
you.
about.
You
Or is that
never
like
heard of the OnlyFans account? It's basically this new trend where
lying.
women
His
is
parents are gonna watch
lying.
it.
Don't make me explain this. You know this. You don't make me explain this for nothing.
I just wanted you to explain it again.
Yeah.
You explained it in the last
Yeah,
episode also. You explained it in... Yeah.
Well, you know what it is. Oh shit, we informing people about
Damn,
OnlyFans. OnlyFans,
yeah.
y'all better give us a
You
check.
got me. I was about to lay it down.
And the thing, you were so willing to give it a so OnlyFans.
Nah, I'm not an OnlyFans. Fuck. Just, bro.
It's a space where they made where you can be
Where
a
you can
perv
blow
and
up.
pay for it.
Oh, you can be a perv and pay for it.
Yeah. It's
That's
like,
not
I'll
like-
show you my toes, but for a price, and then people pay for it.
And you
I don't
know,
know.
and I think like in Cape Town in general, the for making killing, I don't know what it is with
Oh, yeah,
colored brass and
colored.
toes.
Yeah. Bro, it's a
You
thing.
thing.
It's such a thing. Yo, I don't understand. Like when Ron and I used to travel with taxis, you wear flip flops. Oh shit. Oh shit. They are going
Might as well
bananas.
take out your nipples,
Nah,
man.
that you can do that. They won't see that shit. It's not about your nipples today. You have flip flops on.
Nah, that's
Yo, you don't even need to say my stop. They already looking at you.
It's just a thing, bro. Like, it's just a thing.
You know?
You can't explain it, bro. But, yeah. I didn't really grow up in that type of neighborhood, to be honest.
Okay,
There
yeah.
were no toe perverts.
Yeah, not really.
Nah, in
They were from the waist up. They were normal.
I grew up in a black area, bro, so like it was a bit different, you know. It was something else, not, yeah.
What was it?
I don't know.
Don't want to say his
God,
parents
No
are
one
gonna-
said.
Said was bums, you know. Said, you know. It was bums, you know. It's fine, don't worry.
Kijk, mad.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer, yeah, bro.
Disclaimer. Okay, but on some real shit, bro. Where do we find you? What do we expect from you?
Yeah. At Illrow SA. On
Everywhere.
everywhere, yeah.
At Illrow SA,
Yeah,
Instagram.
I've got like, I dropped my album this year, but my follow-up I'm dropping the end of this month.
End of this month,
Yeah,
okay.
title called Hands in the West.
Hands in the West.
I don't know when this episode's dropping, so maybe if this comes out after that, then it
Yeah.
dropped last week.
Yeah.
something
Okay,
like
just
that. I
dropping
don't know.
last week.
Yeah.
And if it takes a month, it dropped last month.
Yeah.
Just so you know, we got
Just say the
y'all
date.
got
It's the end of
exclusive-
October. It's end of October.
just so
End of
y'all know,
October 2021.
There you go.
Dropping Rands in the West.
Rands
Is
in
that
the
when you
West.
say the year? I promise it'll be in this year. It will be in this year. I promise.
Imagine this thing comes out next October. We'll be like 22
1 year.
People for the year looking October.
Look at, and then he put his own voice in there, coming out October, then it's someone else 2022. But yeah, so tape dropping,
Nah, it's a single.
single,
It's a single, yeah.
What's the music video?
Yeah, music video will come out in December. And then I got another single. I just can't mention any of the features, but like two
Yeah.
singles
Big
with
things.
like
With features.
with dope
Okay,
features.
I like that.
I don't know
like
when the
that.
second one's dropping, but the first one's this month.
First one's this month and the next one. Okay, and this is from the guy that rarely says anything on social media. You just see, and then everyone is on your dick. Are you ready to get your condoms, bro, for when the time thing and be on your dick?
They're coming.
Yeah, when you drop, they're really
I
coming.
didn't get my vaccination. That's what I didn't get.
It's okay, bro. I'm also not vaccinated.
Are you
I'm
pro-vax?
good. There is no pro-vax and there's no anti-vax.
Yeah.
They're trying to racially discriminate us with vaccines. We're not playing into their
Are
trap.
you okay? Are you getting a vax?
If I'm forced to.
If
I'm forced to get
why
it.
must people be, okay, we're not
Okay,
gonna touch
I'll put two and two
That's a touchy
together.
subject. That's a touchy subject. We're not gonna talk about force. So rape us with a vaccine. Take it now. If you're the country, just
I'm
rape
always
me.
curious. I like to see the
Are you
who-
pro-vax?
You can tell.
You look like you're vaccinated.
Thank you.
They have the vaccination t-shirts on. Arsenal.
Arsenal.
I'm
oh,
already
yeah.
vaxxed.
Arsenal's-
I've made the decision.
Hey, my
already.
vaccine is ganja.
Yeah, there we go. Vaccinate elke.
Vaccination TNC, brother. That's me. But alright,
But I do.
we're gonna go to part 2.
Yes.
We're gonna take a young break, and again, it's Illrow SA at everything, huh?
Yeah, on everything.
Illrow
Including
SA,
YouTube, bruh.
including YouTube. And please check out this man's work. Please check out his videos. Follow him on IG. You'll keep you posted. Follow everyone in Cape Town. You'll see Illrow somewhere there on their IGs, guys. So
He's a
look out for
lurker.
this man. He does his thing. He's like one of those people that don't have to speak. They're just there, and you'll be like, I see you. It's like a Will Smith in the game. You know what I mean? It's like that level, yeah. Will Smith of Cape Town. The Doctor. Shout out. We'll get you back in part
Bliss.
2.
Part two.
What happens in part 2?
We're gonna play a game.